Hello, everybody, and welcome to Oakfield, Alabama High School, the site of tonight's Section 5 football matchup between Oakfield, Alabama, Elba, and Leroy. Two unbeaten teams getting set to square off in just a few moments. My name is Alex Brasky, here with you for the Batavia Daily News YouTube channel. Excited to take you through tonight's contest between the Aggies and the visiting Knights. Before we get too deep into tonight's broadcast, we'd like to first thank our sponsors, and that's beginning with our scoreboard sponsor, Casella Waste.
Good evening.
Are you looking for residential pickup at your house, a dumpster, or roll-off service for your place of business? Call Casella Waste and check out their great rates on local waste removal. Casella is your #1 provider for all your waste and recycling needs and is always putting your waste to work. Also, Bubba's Landscape. Call Bubba's today for all your residential and commercial lawn treatment needs. You will spend less time on lawn care and more time doing things you love. Call now for an estimate, 585-768-6578. Also, Genesee Community College. Why choose GCC? Well, that's easy. Affordable tuition, a new state-of-the-art technical training and solar lab, award-winning faculty with real-world experience, 200-plus transfer agreements to four-year schools, and on-campus student housing. Also, Sweet Betty's Restaurant and Ice Cream Shop in Leroy. At Sweet Betty's, they are serving lunch, dinner, homemade desserts, 30 flavors of Perry's ice cream, soft custard, and wine slushies. Check them out on their Facebook page for daily specials. Open every day except Tuesdays. That's Sweet Betty's Restaurant and Ice Cream Shop. Also, That Taco Place, celebrating 45 years. Drive-through and walk-up service now available. 4160 West Main Street in Batavia, 585-343-3533. Open Tuesday and Wednesday, 11 to 5, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 11 to 6. Closed on Sunday and Monday, thattacoplacebatavia.com. Also, our system here skipped over one more of our sponsors here tonight that we'd like to tell you about before we get started. Should be a good one here. Brisk night in Oakfield is what you call football weather, as the Aggies and the Knights getting set to do battle. So our system not letting us tell you about one of our sponsors here. We'll get that up on the screen for you, and that is, of course, UR Medicine Noise Health. Sometimes unexpected illness or injuries can occur that require immediate care. It's times like these that you can turn to UR Medicine Noise Health Urgent Care Center in Geneseo. Urgent Care Center in Geneseo is located in the Noise Health Services Building on 50 East South Street. Walk-ins are welcome every day from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. There are x-ray and lab services on site. For more information, visit noise.urmc.edu. We'd also like to tell you about Magavro's Automotive, formerly operated as Zerbal's Automotive, located in Batavia. Automotive repair services with excellent service and quality care. Call them today at 585-343-6101. And Magavro's will be our first down sponsor here this evening. So each time you hear the home team Aggies record a first down, you'll hear from Magavro's. All right, so we're getting set here at Oakfield, Alabama High School. The Aggies and the Knights. We'll tell you about how each team got here this evening. Oakfield, Alabama, Elba, with a Week 3 victory over Avon by a score of 42-14. Noah Courier, an explosive evening in that win. 31 carries for a career-high 343 yards and 5 touchdowns, while Bodie Hyde carried the ball 15 times for 184 yards and a score as well. Defensively for the Aggies, Braden Smith led the way with 13 tackles, one of which came for a loss, while TJ Andrews came away from that game with 10 tackles, one for a loss, and Aiden Warner made 10 stops as well with 2 passes defensed. Gage Chamberlain contributed to the win as well with 6 tackles and 2 sacks. Leroy had a thriller in Week 3, only their second game of the season, and their second win of the season over Attica came in 3 overtimes by a final score of 27-20. Tell you how that game went down on an evening when it honored the late Bob Sullivan. Leroy rallied from a 14-0 deficit and stopped Attica short at the end of regulation, and then outlasted the Blue Devils in 3 overtimes for the thrilling 7-point victory at Hartwood Park. Following a slow start offensively from both teams, Attica got on the board first on a perfectly set up screen pass from Allen to big man Levi Pearl. That's Braden Allen, quarterback, to Levi Pearl, who rumbled 30 yards for a touchdown and a 6-0 Attica lead late in the first half. Attica went on to add to its lead and make it 14-0, and down by 2 scores midway through the fourth. A long pass from backup quarterback Adrian Stevens to Cale Kokitas sparked a dormant Leroy offense, which finally punched in a score on a 9-yard run from Drew Strollo with 7:19 left to play to close the gap to 14-7. Following an Attica turnover, the Oaken Knights would strike again just over a minute later when Stevens, who was on for the starter, Tommy Conandorio, who left injured and has now been declared, I believe, out for the season, scored from 11 yards out to make the score 14-14. So Attica appeared primed to strike right back and drove inside Leroy's 10-yard line inside the 2-minute warning, but Jackson Fix of Leroy stripped Blue Devils running back Landon Thomas at the goal line, and Leroy's Jack Tonzi recovered, which would essentially send the game to overtime for the Knights. Neither side would score in the initial overtime period, but Attica would get the ball first to score the second overtime and took a 20-14 lead on a Sam Streslick 10-yard touchdown run. However, the point after failed, leaving the door open for the Oaken Knights. Leroy would proceed to strike right back to tie the game at 20 on a Strollo 1-yard run. However, the Knights' point after attempt, would fail as well, sending the game to a third overtime period. Leroy began with the ball and again punched it in with a 2-yard rush from Stevens, and this time the extra point kick from Ben Pocock was good, giving the Knights a 27-20 lead. Leroy would then hold Attica on downs and their possession to seal the win. That game recap brought to you by Batavia Daily News sports writer Nate Ryder, who recapped that thriller, which was also seen live on the Batavia Daily News YouTube channel last Friday night, streamed live from Hartwood Park. Drew Strollo finished that game with 71 yards on the ground with 2 touchdowns. Adrian Stevens in relief duty, 78 yards passing, 71 yards, 2 scores. And Tony Piazza, also a defensive stalwart for Leroy, finished with 30 yards on the ground and 10 tackles on defense. Tonzi led the Leroy defense with 11 stops and made 2 fumble recoveries, while Jackson Fix stripped the ball out twice, made 6 tackles, recovered a fumble as well, and defended a pass to boot. So that's how each team has made it here, at least as far as its Week 3 contest was concerned. Both teams feature ball control style offenses. You'll see a lot of running the football here tonight. As I said before, Noah Courier threw the 300 yards on the ground for OAE last week, and Courier has just been a beast for the Aggies this season, averaging 196 yards on the ground per game, 589 yards total on 48 carries, and 13 touchdowns through the Aggies' first 3 games. The quarterback, Bodie Hyde, is really the Robin to Courier's Batman thus far this season, as Hyde has carried the ball 25 times for 405 yards, an average of 135 yards per contest, and 6 touchdowns on the ground. Hyde's only been forced to throw it 5 times this year, as OAE has outscored its opponents by quite a bit this season. Hyde 3 for 5 on the year, just 20 yards and a touchdown, no interceptions for the Aggies quarterback. For the Leroy offense, it'll be Adrian Stevens once again under center here tonight. He's thrown 10 passes this season, completed 3 of them for 80 yards. He's also thrown an interception, but Stevens' primary strength lies in his ability to produce offense on the ground. 17 carries for 70 yards and 2 scores on the year for Stevens. Also, Piazza, Strollo, 2 runners for Leroy, who will get plenty of action here tonight. Piazza averaging 82 yards per game. Strollo averaging 76 yards per contest. Both have scored 2 touchdowns on the year. So we'll take you over to PA announcer Pete Bueller as he gets you set for this Class D, Class C tilt right here in Section 5 football country on the Batavia Daily News YouTube channel.
The Leroy Knights are coached by Brian Herdline. This is a Section 5 matchup. Leroy and the Class C team. We're having a great night of football ahead. And now we're going to let the OAE Mafia take it from here.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the purge. All other weapons are restricted. Government officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the purge and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when the purge concludes. Blessed be our new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May God be with you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are your Oakfield, Alabama, Elba Aggies! Your undefeated Section 5 defending champion, Aggies! And on homecoming weekend, led by Coach Tyler Winter. We got a great one for you tonight.
All right, we're getting set for action here at Oakfield, Alabama. Should be a great one in between these two talented programs. OAE, the defending sectional champ in Class D. Leroy looking for its first sectional championship in quite some time. But both enter this game unbeaten, both with sectional championship aspirations. Should make for a competitive ball game here at Oakfield, Alabama High School. And we will pause quickly for the national anthem performed by the swing choir of Oakfield, Alabama. And boy, they're swinging on in over here. So as we await the national anthem, tension continues to build here at Oakfield, Alabama. The crowd filling up. Beautiful night for football. Getting ready to kick things off.
By the Oakfield, Alabama Swing Choir.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed, that there's white lights last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
All right, what a performance from the swing choir here at Oakfield, Alabama. And we're getting set for action, but before we get started, we'd like to once again thank our sponsors for tonight's broadcast, beginning with the scoreboard sponsor for every game here on the Batavia Daily News YouTube channel, and that is, of course, Casella Waste. Are you looking for residential pickup at your house, a dumpster or roll-off service for your place of business? Call Casella Waste and check out their great rates on local waste removal. Casella Waste is your #1 provider for all your waste and recycling needs and is always putting your waste to work. Call 585-308-0662 today for a quote. Also, Bubba's Landscape. Contact Bubba's today for all your residential and commercial lawn treatment needs. You will spend less time on lawn care and more time doing things you love. Call now for an estimate, 585-768-6578. Also, Genesee Community College. Why choose GCC? Well, that's easy. Affordable tuition, a new state-of-the-art technical training and solar lab, an award-winning faculty with real-world experience, 200-plus transfer agreements to four-year schools, and on-campus student housing. Also, UR Medicine Noise Health Urgent Care Center in Geneseo. Sometimes unexpected illness or injuries can occur that require immediate care. It's times like these that you can turn to UR Medicine Noise Health Urgent Care Center in Geneseo. Urgent Care Center Geneseo is located in the Noise Health Services Building on 50 East South Street. Walk-ins are welcome every day from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. There are x-ray and lab services on site. For more information, visit noise.urmc.edu. Also, Sweet Betty's Restaurant and Ice Cream Shop, serving lunch, dinner, homemade desserts, 30 flavors of Perry's ice cream, soft custard, and wine slushies. Check them out on their Facebook page for daily specials. Open every day except Tuesdays. That's Sweet Betty's Restaurant and Ice Cream Shop. Also, that taco place in Batavia. That taco place is celebrating 45 years. Drive-through and walk-up service now available. 4160 West Main Street in Batavia. 585-343-3533. Open Tuesday and Wednesday, 11 to 5. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 11 to 6. Closed Sunday and Monday. That taco place Batavia.com. Also, our first down sponsor for tonight will be McGavro's Automotive. McGavro's, formerly operated as Zerbals, is located in Batavia and provides automotive repair services with excellent service and quality care. Call them today, 585-343-6101. So here we go. We are ready for kickoff, and Leroy will kick it away to the hometown Aggies to get things started. They're in the big white hat on the sideline near the 40-yard line. You see Batavia Daily News photographer Mark Gutman. Be sure to check out the game recap following tonight's contest at thedailynewsonline.com. So good kick, decent return from Oakfield, Alabama Elba's Kyle Porter. Returned to about the 37-38-yard line, and that's where OAE will begin its drive here in the first quarter.
Great field position on their first drive.
So 1st and 10. For the Aggies here, and as I said before, you will see plenty of running featured from both sides here tonight. Ball control is the style, which should lead to a well-paced ball game as well. Snap goes to Hyde, the quarterback. He's stacked up right near the line of scrimmage and brought down. Nice tackle made there by Drew Strollo. So gain of 1 brings up 2nd and 9 for the Aggies.
Helping out with that tackle. 2nd down and 9 for your Aggies.
Strollo has also been one of the defensive standouts for Leroy this year. You saw his impact immediately here in this one. So 2nd and 9 coming up for Oakfield, Alabama, Elba, and Bodie Hyde will go under center. 2 men in the backfield and a man in motion. Hands it off. There's Courier throwing a stiff arm to a man in the backfield, slipping the initial tackler, but gaining only about 2 yards. It's going to bring up 3rd and 7 coming up for the Aggies.
4 yards there, brings up a 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 for the Aggies.
We'll call it 3rd and 6 coming up for OAE.
Ball on the Aggie 48-yard line. First 3rd down of the game. This is how Knights are won.
So 3rd down for OAE. Misdirection handoff and good space out of the backfield. Into the open field. There he goes inside the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Connor Scott.
Touchdown, Aggies! Number 22.
So Connor Scott sparks this Aggies offense.
To the house.
Long touchdown run, and OAE is on the board. 57 yards at 6-0. 10:54 remaining here in the first quarter. What a run from Connor Scott. So on for the point after, and it's blocked. And there to make the block is Strollo.
Is no good, blocked. Little bumpy snap right there. Looks like one of my tee-offs, but it's all good.
That was Scott's second rushing touchdown of the season, now with 118 yards on the ground on the year. And that was only his 9th carry, and boy, oh boy, did he make the most of that one. A long touchdown run for Connor Scott, and OAE's on the board.
We got a little housekeeping business, if you don't mind. We have a blue vehicle parked illegally in front of a fire hydrant. That's a no-no. Yes, we all pass those.
So
driving tests.
6-0 OAE after the PAT was blocked on the Casella Waste scoreboard. We have yet to see our first McGoffro's first down of the game, as on that 3rd and 6 play.
Once again, that's up.
What a run from Connor Scott.
At least in the developing world. All right, we're moving on here, ladies and gentlemen. Great first possession by the Aggies. Leroy getting ready for their first possession.
So Leroy coming up here to receive the ensuing kickoff following the Aggies' touchdown. Here at Oakfield, Alabama High School, Alex Brasky here with you on the Batavia Daily News YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us. 10:54 to go in this first quarter. The Aggies have taken a quick lead at 6-0. So here's a high kick to the center of the field. Coming up to receive it is Jackson Fix, pushing his way near midfield and across the 45-yard line. A nice return there, and a heady play made by Jackson Fix. Fix played a key role in the Knights' victory over Attica last week, stripping the ball at the goal line out of the hands of the Attica ball carrier near the end of regulation to help send the game to overtime. Fix is also a fantastic swimmer for Byron Burgeon Leroy Swimming, so a fantastic multi-sport athlete, represented his school at the state championships last winter in the pool. And this is his second year on the varsity team for Fix. Became a starter midway through last season, as you saw Strollo there take it forward for 4 yards.
With a healthy gain on first down.
But Fix has really played a key role in multiple different sports for
That's right, get some love for TJ.
the Oaken Knights.
About a 3 or 4 yard gain there.
And
for
still
the
with
Knights.
another season to go, only a junior. So impressive stuff from Jackson Fix early in this season, and I'm sure we'll hear more from him. As here you see Stevens with a man to his left is Strollo, and he'll follow him, but he's wrapped down from behind. Nice play made on defense. Austin Pengrazio in there on the stop. No gain on the play.
Not much there on that play. Brings
So
up a
nothing
third down.
doing
3rd down and 6 for the Knights.
for Stevens,
49-yard
as he
line.
didn't have the blocking in front of him, and Pengrazio came from behind to make the play. So 9.5 minutes to go. Leroy facing its first third down of the ball game. 3rd and 6. Stevens out of the shotgun, man in motion. They'll follow him that way, looking for room on the edge. Spinning forward near midfield. Brought down after a short gain. That's going to bring up 4th down and about 3. Maybe a long 2, but we'll call it 4th and 3 for now, coming up for Leroy. But now inside Aggies territory. So it looks like Leroy is poised to go for it here. And they will. Stevens out of the shotgun once again. Now looking to throw. Little screen pass, dumps it off. And nowhere to go as the Aggies defense swarms Tony Piazza. And look at Connor Scott in there to make the stop, along with, it looked like Pangrazio once again in there for Oakfield, Alabama, Elba, and the Aggies are going to take over directly at midfield as Piazza had nowhere to go on the screen pass. 8:40 remaining here in the opening frame, 1st and 10 coming up for OAE. Certainly not the start that Leroy is looking for with this high-scoring OAE team. You really need to keep pace with the Aggies offense, and that begins on the opening possession as they score early and often this season, and in seasons past, as a matter of fact. So Courier falling forward for about a 7-yard gain, 2nd and 3 coming up for the Aggies. Courier, another strong multi-sport athlete on the field here tonight, has helped the OA boys basketball program to a couple of sectional championships the past couple of years. Also a tremendous speedster on the track. So that's really what you see at the Class D, Class C level. You see multi-sport athletes getting it done for their teams, and that's what we've seen here tonight. Hyde lets it go, and he connects with his receiver. On the run is Kyle Porter, and he's brought down at the 20-yard line. So Hyde completes just his 4th pass of the season, and it's for good yardage and a 1st down for OAE. So what you're seeing here in the early going from OAE, haven't seen it much this year, but they can do it 2 different ways. They can go to the air, they can keep it on the ground. Hyde, a very talented athlete with a very strong arm. Reverse handoff goes to Scott, and he's got nowhere to go. Nice stop made by the Leroy defense. Ryan Higgins and Tony Piazza combined for the tackle, and it's a loss of 4, 2nd and 14 coming up.
Down in 14 for the Aggies.
So back to Hyde and Courier. They connected on perhaps the play of the decade here in OAE last season. Trailing Avon late in the sectional final, they connected on a deep touchdown pass to vault themselves ahead of the Braves and eventually win the game. And that sent them to the state semifinal, where they fell to eventual state champion Tioga. As Hyde going deep again, and it's caught in the end zone. Guess who it is? Noah Courier. Noah Courier from Boney Hyde for the score. It's 12-0 Aggies, right on cue. OAE getting it done in the early going. That happened almost in the exact spot as the touchdown in last year's sectional final game. As Hyde to Courier for the long touchdown, but once again the PAT is blocked, and that keeps it at 12-0 here with 7:08 remaining first quarter. The Aggies are rolling.
It's your Aggie 12 and Leroy nothing. What a start, ladies and gentlemen, to this game. I hope you're all watching. And we want you to support the concession stand. We appreciate that, but man, was that a throw.
So my, oh my, can this OAE offense strike quickly? And they can do it multifacetedly, if that's a word. I have to look that one up. As you've seen them go to the air, you've seen them do it on the ground. There's really no slowing down this OAE attack. And Leroy, its latest victim here in the early going. So 7:08 left
Watterson about to kick off
in this first quarter. It's a 12-0 lead for OAE on the Casella Waste scoreboard. Leroy awaiting the ensuing kickoff, as the Knights will be forced to go back to the drawing board after stalling out on their previous drive. So a good kick, and not much on the return.
Walker the ninth with the return.
As Xavier Walker is stopped at about the 30-yard line. And that's where Leroy will begin its drive.
Looks like it's going to be spotted.
So Leroy looking for that McGavro's Automotive first down. McGavro's located in Batavia on Hutchins Street, formerly operated as Zerbel's Automotive. Visit McGavro's Automotive for all your automotive repair service needs. Stevens back to throw, too tall for his intended target, as it was out of the reach of Cal Kokidis. That makes it 2nd and 10.
Looking for number 22, Tony Bianchi.
Kokidis, son of Leroy baseball coach Eon Kokidis, also a member of this Leroy football coaching staff.
Ball still on their 31st, their second possession here of the game.
So Kokidis, a familiar name in Leroy. Also his sister Peyton, a talented athlete at Leroy over the years in multiple sports. So there you hear the OAE Mafia chanting on their defense here on their home field. They bring the energy each and every night. Tonight, no exceptions. Stevens knifing up the middle for that McGavro's Automotive. First down across the 40-yard line.
Gains about 12 yards there for the Knights. Give the Knights a first down. It'll be first down and 10 for the Knights on their own.
So a good gain from Stevens there.
The first down for the Knights.
And that's what he can do. Just foot in the ground. Uses athleticism and strength and speed, all combined to knife through the defense. And you saw it there. Good hole created by the Leroy offensive line. On the left side there, you have Ryan Higgins and Will Eschberger, who did a nice job in front of Stevens. So 1st and 10 for Leroy. Snap. Stevens pulls it down, looking to run. This time, Pangrazio beat Eschberger into the backfield for the tackle, as Stevens was able to work his way to a short gain. 2nd and 9 coming up for the Knights. Another big play made by Austin Pangrazio. He's been talented here tonight. So 5:44 remaining here in the first quarter. 2nd and 9 for Leroy. Man in motion is Jack Tonzi. Handoff faked to Piazza. Throw goes to Tonzi, and it's complete for a first down. So Leroy, another McGavro's Automotive first down, and this time it comes through the air.
Going to bring up a first down here for the Knights.
So another first down for Leroy inside 5.5 minutes to go. Handoff goes to Strollo up the middle. Another good gain for Leroy. This Leroy attack getting going here on its second drive of the game. 5-yard gain, 2nd and 5 coming up for Leroy.
The Knights are inside Aggie territory. Ball on the Aggie 42-yard line.
Strollo up the middle, tackled near the line.
34, Drew Strollo once
Big
again
number
running it for the
55,
Knights.
Angelo Penna, in there on the stop
55, Angela Pennant again,
for the
and Braden
Aggies.
Smith on the tackle.
Braden
No
Smith
gain on
also
the
in
play.
there to help
Brings
out
up
on
a
the
third
stop
down
for OAE.
for the
Braden
Knights,
Smith, the
35 for the
Class C golf champion this past spring, pulling the upset over two-time defending champion and his teammate C.J. Gottler, who was the Class D Defensive Player of the Year last year and now is on the Aggies sideline as a member of the OAE coaching staff. So that's really what this OAE program is about, as you saw the 4-yard run there for Piazza on third down, which will bring up a 4th and 1. But that's what OAE is all about, just building that culture and maintaining it all the way through and even beyond athletes' careers here at the high school level, as some of them have come back to assist on the coaching staff and provide this team a little bit of added energy, which Gottler certainly has no shortage of. So 3.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter, and we'll actually call it 4th and 2 as a big moment in this game for Leroy. They desperately need to keep the drive alive, and a timeout coming up here for the Knights. Their first of the half. They have 2 remaining. We'll go to a quick break here on the Batavia Daily News YouTube channel. 12-0 OAE in the lead.
And WC was on to 3. Unfortunately, we have no play clock here at Oakfield, Alabama, but it was getting close. It was definitely close and a good call by the coach. Once again, while we got this break in the action, we have a cell phone that has been found. A cell phone has been found. Check your pockets. If you lost your cell phone, go to the concession stand, and maybe you'll get an upgrade. Who knows? But yes, if you lost your cell phone, we got it. Yes, Matt Dixon, look around. If you don't have your cell phone, please go to the concession stand.
All right, so a critical 4th and 2 coming up for Leroy as they hope to keep the drive alive. Stevens, bootleg to the right, hit as he throws, and it falls incomplete.
Stevens going up, bootlegging for the pass.
In providing the pressure, it appeared was Bodie Hyde.
Bodie Hyde, the junior there, putting on the heat on the quarterback.
And that's a turnover on downs. OAE set to take over.
It's a turnover on downs, and we first down and 10. Aggies.
So that spells trouble for Leroy, as anytime the Aggies offense is on the field, they are a threat to reach the end zone. And they've done it quickly twice thus far here tonight. First quarter, 3:16 remaining. They already lead it 12-0. Hyde out of the shotgun. Courier, the man in motion. Hyde fakes it to him, takes it himself up the middle, spun down, delivering the hit at the end of the tackle was Jack Tonzi, but roping him down was Keegan Park.
Jack Tonzi there on the tackle, along with number 34, Drew Strollo. Good stop there for the Knights. 2nd down and 8 for the Aggies.
So 2nd and 8
41-yard line.
coming up for OAE, and Leroy in need of a stop here. Trying to slow this runaway freight train that is the OAE offense. Flip to Courier. Cuts it up the field, but there's a flag behind him. That's a Magavro's Automotive first down, but I believe this one's coming back.
But we have a flag on the play. The flag was in the backfield.
And it's a hold against the Aggies, fortunately for Leroy, as that will drive OAE back here deep inside their own territory. Ball was near the 40-yard line, now back at about the 30. So 2nd and 20 coming up.
So now be 2nd down and 19.
So OAE back to the line. Hyde in the shotgun. Looking to throw. Swing pass to Courier. And coming over and nearly making the interception was Leroy's Antonio Martinez. So a nice play in pass coverage made by Martinez spoils the swing pass opportunity for OAE. And now it's 3rd and 20. A chance for Leroy to get this Aggies offense off the field. The Aggies have yet to punt this season, I believe, by the look at their stat sheet. Hyde going deep down the middle of the field, and it's dropped. Had his man in stride, Connor Scott, but he dropped it. 4th and 20 coming up for the Aggies, and boy, oh boy, did the Knights avoid disaster there. Breakdown in coverage, Scott straight up the middle of the field, wide open.
Incomplete. So it brings down 4th down and 12 for the Aggies. Aggies are in punting formation.
So here comes the punt for OAE. We'll have to check on whether or not they had punted yet this season. I don't see it on the stat sheet here, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't recorded.
We got a flag on a play,
So,
ladies and
I
gentlemen.
believe we may have a legal procedure here.
Maybe too many men.
Or maybe too many men on the
not
field
sure.
on this 4th and 20. And it looks like the Aggies are moving
Looks
back.
like a penalty on the Aggies.
So 5-yard penalty will make it 4th and
Mike
25.
got too many, not sure. He said it was 5-yard penalty for the Aggies here. He's going to make it even.
Yeah, penalty wasn't
4th down and
signaled.
24.
Not sure
Kyle
why,
Pickett back to punt.
but 5-yard penalty nonetheless. And here's the punt from Courier. It's a good one. Going across midfield, but it's dropped by Strollo. Regains possession. Trying to find the sideline. Up the sideline now goes Drew Strollo. A good return for the Knights
Returns, almost has like a 40-yard return.
to the Aggies' 35-yard line. 1st and 10 coming up for Leroy. Great field position. Coming up for Leroy, trailing 12-0.
But Drew Strollo of the Knights sets up a good opportunity for their offensive team. 1st and 10 for the Knights on the Aggie 35-yard line.
So 1st and 10 coming up for Leroy here. Their 3rd possession of the game, have yet to reach the end zone. Piazza probing for room behind that
Piazza,
Leroy
working way up
offensive
the middle,
line.
but the strong Aggie defense is there.
And a good gain of 5 yards.
Angelo Pena was in
Nice
the middle of it.
run there for Tony Piazza.
It was a gain of 5 yards. 2nd and 5 now for the Knights. Ball on the Aggie 30-yard line.
So you see that Leroy offensive line, Will Eschberger, also Ryan Higgins on the right, as we've heard from already. I'll tell you about a few more of those gentlemen up front in a few moments. Piazza spinning away from OAE tacklers, a gain of about 3, bringing up 3rd and 2.
Pivotal 3rd down here for your Aggies defense.
Also up front
3rd down
for
and
Leroy,
4.
Aiden Ridgey,
Last minute of the 1st quarter. A play must be run here.
Ryan Murphy doing work up front for the Knights as well.
Aggies defense could use some love, OAE Mafia.
And then right in the center of everything, Holden Sullivan snapping the ball. So 3rd down, and the Knights get the McGavros Automotive 1st down right up the middle. Drew Strollo, a nice gain inside the 15-yard line. And that's a McGavros Automotive 1st down.
Knights now have the ball inside the 20-yard line of the Aggies in the red zone. First time for the Knights.
So time winding down. here in the first quarter, and Leroy approaching the end zone. Stevens under center, hands it off to Strollo. Another good gain for Strollo. This Leroy offensive line starting to assert its will on the OAE defensive front. And it's led to a good, healthy drive to conclude the first quarter. We head to the second. It's 12-0 Aggies, but the Knights are on the march.
And that's the horn, ladies and gentlemen. What a first quarter we had here at Oakfield, Alabama.
So once again, we'd like to tell you about our sponsors, beginning with our scoreboard sponsor, Casella Waste. Casella will save your business time and money on trash and recycling services. Call 585-308-0662 for a quote today. Also, Bubba's Landscape in Leroy. Walkways, retaining walls, hardscapes, landscapes, tree and shrubs, bed maintenance, lawn care, and fertilization. Call Bubba's Landscape today. Also, Genesee Community College. To register, please visit genesee.edu/visit. Also, UR Medicine Noise Health Urgent Care Center in Geneseo. Call 585-243-9595. Open every day from 9 a.m. until 8 p.m. Also, Sweet Betty's Restaurant and Ice Cream Shop located at 15 Main Street in Leroy. Open for lunch and dinner, also serving homemade desserts and over 30 flavors of Perry's ice cream. And lastly, That Taco Place in Batavia, 4160 West Main Street in Batavia, 585-343-3533, 585-343-3533, That Taco Place, Batavia.com. So here we are at Oakfield, Alabama High School. Alex Brasky here with you on the Batavia Daily News YouTube channel. It's been all Aggies thus far, but the Knights are starting to find their way offensively and are now inside the red zone and trying to reach pay dirt for the first time tonight. So here we go. 2nd and 2 coming up for Leroy to begin the second quarter. And not much there for Strollo that time. Gain of about maybe one. 3rd and 1 coming up for the Knights.
They were way closer. Aggies defense playing tough.
So Stevens under center, 2 men behind him. Piazza the up back, but he hands it to Strollo, the deep back, and he's tripped up near the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure he got there. We'll see where they mark it, but we're going to mark it a 4th and 1 for the time being. And yes, 4th and 1 coming up for Leroy. And once again, a pivotal moment here for the Knights offense. They need to convert this 1-yard 4th down opportunity. Hitting the backfield, stonewalled by the OAE defense, and Leroy is stopped. Turnover on downs. The Aggies will take over 1st and 10 deep inside their own territory.
Senior Braden Smith with a huge stop. Bend but don't break.
So as talented as this OAE offense has been this year, as has this Aggies defense, and you're seeing it tonight, Leroy driving all the way inside the 10-yard line, but stonewalled on 4th and 1, and the Aggies will take back over on offense. Ball at about the 5. Snap, handoff up the middle. And a nice combined tackle there made by Ryan Higgins and Tony Piazza. That'll bring up 2nd and 9 coming up for the Aggies.
2nd down and 9 for the Aggies. This worst field position so far in the game for the Aggies.
So 2nd and 9 coming up for OAE. They'll spread it out with Hyde out of the shotgun. He'll run it and run over a Leroy tackler. Gain of about 4.
Gain of 4 on the play brings up a third
Bring
down.
up 3rd and 5.
4 to 5 yards for the Aggies ball on.
Another big play in this game for Leroy. They need to continue to get stops and then eventually produce that fruit on offense in the way of a touchdown. But it starts with getting this stop here on defense. As you saw Penna hustle off the field at the direction of the official, perhaps to be looked at by a trainer. And now we have a timeout on the field.
We have a stoppage of play here on the field. Not sure if it's a timeout or an official's timeout.
Nothing has been signaled here, but both teams have headed back to their sideline, and now we have a timeout called by the Aggies, their first of this first half.
Just a reminder,
So 9:47 remaining here in the first half. 3rd and 5 coming up for OAE as they lead it over Leroy 12-0. This is not unknown territory for Leroy as they trailed Attica 14-0 last week. So OAE certainly not out of the woods yet, as this Knights team has proven its resilience as recent as a week ago.
All right, the officials are asking both teams to come back on the field. While we got this little break. We have the Oakfield, Elba.
So getting back to action here,
led by Mr. Bolton.
OAE will take this 3rd and 5 with 9:47 remaining in this first half. Hyde under center, 2 men in the backfield. And the Aggies jumped. It was Courier who moved early in the backfield. And that's going to make it a 3rd and a very long 9.
5-yard penalty for the Aggies. Going to bring up about 3rd down and 10 here.
3rd and 9 on the 6.
3rd and 9 on the Aggies 6-yard line.
So ball is placed at the 6. A 3rd down in a long 5, or excuse me, a long 4 has now become 3rd down in a long 9. Leroy in need of a stop. Play action, Hyde looking to throw, gets it away and finds his man wide open.
Bodie Hyde pass.
Aiden Warner on the reception, and the Magavro's Automotive first down. So there's another name that can hurt you in this Aggies offense. Aiden Warner.
24 yards and on a 3rd down and
Gain
9.
of 24.
Great work, Aggies.
And a first down for OAE as they continue to do things well offensively. Hyde showing his ability to go to the air here tonight. Shotgun snap, handoff to Courier, foot in the ground. Breaking tackles, nearing the line to gain. It's a gain of 9 for the hard-working Courier. 2nd and 1 coming up for OAE.
Leading the Knights, Tony Piazza brings up a 2nd down and 2 here. Ball on the Aggies' own 38-yard line. Under 9 minutes here left in the first half.
So Courier has yet to go off here tonight, but he's certainly had his fair share of productive carries and already with the long reception in the passing game. But still looking for that long run out of the backfield is Courier. I'm sure we'll see it soon if history tells us anything. Hyde back to throw, going deep, another man wide open, and it's dropped. So Hyde has had 2 deep balls dropped by his receivers tonight. And if it weren't for those 2 drops, it would be a laugher here at Oakfield, Alabama. Porter couldn't come up with the catch there. Was wide open near the Knights' 30-yard line. 3rd and a long 1 coming up for OAE. Hyde had him on the money, threw it into the soft spot of the defense there deep, probably about as far as he could throw it. As Porter may have outran his quarterback a bit. As Hyde cuts it up the middle for another McGavro's Automotive first down.
First down, Aggies! Bodie Hyde with a strong run.
So over the years, this Oakfield, Alabama Elba program has been powered by several talented running backs. It really started with Ty Mott, or at least continued with Ty Mott a few years ago. And then into the hands of Gage Armbruster last year, and now Noah Courier this year. But Hyde, only a junior. What you'll see moving into the future this season and into next season is this offense develop into a quarterback-centric offense, as Hyde's athleticism is just undeniable for this OAE coaching staff, and it's really difficult to keep the ball out of his hands. They've had to limit his throwing capabilities thus far this season due to the lopsided scores they've faced in each of their contests, but he's letting it loose tonight. Hyde booting out to the right, looking for room on the edge, and he's spun down in there by Connor Hedgeman. Is there anybody who could go back over there? It's like, so 6:40 to go here in this first half, and it's now a 3rd and 7, as I forgot to change it down at distance. So 3rd and 7 coming up for OAE. 6.5 minutes to go here in the first half. It's been all Aggies. Leroy has moved the ball on a couple of their drives, but have been unable to finish. And the Aggies have also had trouble finishing on their last couple of drives. Flag comes down. Looks like that's going to be a delay of game call going against the Aggies, and it is. So that's going to make a 3rd down and relatively long, even longer, 3rd and 12 coming up for OAE. 6:11, remaining here in the second quarter on your Casella Waste scoreboard. So 3rd and 12, facing the Aggies. Penalties have certainly played a role in the slowing of the OAE offense as well. A holding call and a few 5-yard infractions as Hyde looks to go deep, and it's picked off. Picked off by the Knights. It's Cal Kokitis on the interception, and a big interception as Leroy stays alive.
Intercepted.
Ball at their own 32-yard line as the Knights will take over 1st and 10 with 6 minutes remaining here in the first half. You got to think it's about now or never for Leroy. Done a nice job defensively, but really need to get it going here offensively. And finish a drive with a touchdown. Let's see if they can do it. They'll start the possession inside their own territory. Ball at the 32-yard line. 1st and 10 for Leroy. Stevens looking to throw. Going deep. A jump ball. And it's caught. Leroy with a big reception from Merritt Holly. The size differential on that pass certainly played a role as Holly went up top to make the catch.
Closing minutes here of the first half.
Saw that from Holly once last week, as his size is undeniable, and there you saw it work wonders for the Leroy offense, but what a huge mistake. The handoff is botched. The exchange muffed. Ball on the ground, and Austin Pengrazio falls on it.
And it's gonna be first
What a
down and
huge
10.
error committed by this Leroy offense. If you hope to beat a team like this Oakfield, Alabama, Elba Aggies team, you cannot make mistakes like that.
First and 10 for the Aggies. Now the ball on their own 44-yard line.
Critical error. And Coach Brian Herdline is not going to be happy with his offense after that play. After a huge gain, you give the ball away.
Connor Scott on the carry.
My, oh my.
Gain of about 5 yards now.
Now you do have to take into
Aggies
account
back where
Leroy
they just kinda left off
has
from.
its backup
Well,
quarterback
deja
out
vu.
there, Adrian Stevens. Did not start the year as Leroy's quarterback, but we've seen him hand the ball off plenty and get it done, so really no excuse for either he or the running back there, which I believe was Strollo on the exchange, as the ball was put on the turf. And it's now 2nd and 7 for OAE as they're approaching midfield.
Carrier on the carry, bringing it right about,
So
just
about
at
a
the 50-yard line.
3-4 yard gain, 3rd and 3.
Brings up a 3rd down and 3
coming
for
up
your
now
Aggies, right
for
on
the
that
Aggies.
50-yard line. Under 5 minutes here left in the first half.
Those were the plays that Leroy avoided last week that allowed them to stay in the game against Attica, especially in that second half, and work their way back from that 14-point deficit. I'm not sure if turning the ball over in such a situation
Hyde keeps it, flies ahead, going to be close to the first down.
will go without consequence here tonight, as Hyde pulled down from behind, short of the line to gain. That's going to bring up a 4th and 1. Coming up for the Aggies, Hyde remained down on the field momentarily. Looked like a scary play for a moment, but he hopped up. Now over to the sideline to chat things over with head coach Tyler Winter to take the play. So it's actually going to be a 4th and 2, and a long 2 at that for OAE, as they'll keep the offense on the field. Late in the play clock here, as the hand is already up, OAE is going to be forced to call a timeout, their second of the half.
The timeout on the field is the Aggies timeout. Aggies timeout here with 3:23 left in the half. 12-0 Aggies.
So once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, beginning with our scoreboard sponsor, Casella Waste. Are you looking for residential pickup at your house, a dumpster or roll-off service for your place of business? Call Casella Waste and check out their great rates on local waste removal. Also, Bubba's Landscape. Call Bubba's for all your residential and commercial lawn treatment needs. You will spend less time on lawn care and more time doing things you love. Call now for an estimate, 585-768-6578. Also, Genesee Community College. Why choose GCC? That's easy. Affordable tuition, a new state-of-the-art technical training and solar lab, award-winning faculty with real-world experience, and 200-plus transfer agreements to four-year schools, as well as on-campus student housing. Also, Urgent Care Center in Geneseo, presented by Noise Health and UR Medicine. Sometimes unexpected illness or injuries can occur that require immediate care. It's times like these that you can turn to UR Medicine, Noise Health Urgent Care Center in Geneseo. Also, Sweet Betty's Restaurant and Ice Cream Shop, 15 Main Street in Leroy, serving serving lunch, dinner, and homemade desserts. And also that taco place in Batavia, that taco place Batavia.com. So 4th and 2 coming up for the Aggies here. A big play in this game. Leroy needs another stop. Handoff. And looks like they got the initial stop, but a good second effort provided by Noah Courier. And the officials will stop the clock, and I believe they'll send the chains out to measure.
All right, we're still waiting. I see Aggie hands.
3:17 remaining in this first half. What's the call going to be? They will bring the chains out to measure to see if the Aggies got enough to reach the line to gain.
I'm going to measure this one, ladies and gentlemen. Is that close? 4th down and 2, run by senior.
Once again, Alex Brasky here with you on the Batavia Daily News YouTube channel. A big measurement coming up in this game. Leroy facing a 4th and 2, or excuse me, OAE facing a 4th and 2. And they didn't get it. A huge stop from the Leroy defense, and Does the Knights offense have a rally in their bones?
3:17 left in the half.
They need to get it going here to close the first half and have been presented a golden opportunity to do so as their defense has once again stood on its head, stopping the Aggies short of the line to gain. 1st and 10 coming up for Leroy.
1st and 10 here for the Knights.
1st and
Aggies
10.
ready to make another stand.
Let's do it again, as they say. And Leroy will begin its drive, nearing midfield. Ball at the 48-yard line. Shotgun snap to Stevens, back to throw, going deep down the sideline. And it's incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
Pass intended for Jackson Fix falls incomplete out of bounds.
On the far sideline.
And that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Defense there by
So
the
Leroy
Aggies.
going with the passing game a bit more as the game has progressed. Stevens tried to find Fix down the sideline, but unsuccessful. Here you see Holly, the giant nearest us in the formation. 6'5", looks like a giant anyway out
Knights
there.
hold on, Knights jump on it. No gain on the play.
Merritt
It'll be
Holly, also
3rd down
a
and 10.
fantastic basketball
Still on the
player
47-yard line.
for the Leroy Owakin
Under
Knights.
3 minutes left in the first half. Knights with 2 timeouts. The Aggies with 1.
And if that name sounds familiar to any of you watching or listening here tonight, he's also the son of former Oakfield, Alabama boys basketball coach. Yes, that's how I refer to him, Merritt Holly Sr. As you see the jump ball to Merritt Holly Jr. once again fall incomplete this time. And that's going to bring up a 4th down, as I forgot to change it down in distance there. So 4th and 10 coming up for Leroy, and they will send the punting unit, it appears, onto the field.
Aggies force another 4th down.
So 4th down coming up for Leroy, and they will punt it away as it's a 4th and 10 here. And Xavier Walker able to get it away despite the pressure created by the Aggies special teams. And now on the run, trying to find the sideline is Courier. And that provides OAE with quality field position here. Time winding down here in the first half.
2s are wild on the scoreboard. That's how much we got left here in the half. And it's going to be Aggies ball on their own 40-yard line.
So 2:22 remaining in this first half. 1st and 10 coming up for OAE following the return from Courier. It was a torrid start for this Aggies offense, but it's been a slow go as of late. We'll see if they can regain their rhythm here to close the second quarter. Bodie Hyde ahead for 6 yards on 1st down. 2nd and 4 coming up for OAE.
2nd down and 5. Ball now on the Aggie 45.25-yard line.
So what you're seeing from this Leroy team is really what's plagued it the past several years, just an inability to score the football with consistency. They have no trouble playing defense. It's been their strength the past several years, but they do have trouble getting on the scoreboard against teams of the Aggies' caliber, and it's proved to be the case here tonight. Gain of 4 there, 3rd and 1 coming up for the Aggies, as I believe I had it marked incorrectly at 3rd and 4. Or 2nd and 4, excuse me. So 3rd and 1 coming up for OAE. This Leroy defense trying to remain strong. Hyde hands it off, quick handoff as Courier spins forward. He's wrapped up and brought down. But that's going to be a McGavro's Automotive 1st down.
Aggies 1st down. Aggies moving the chains here deep in the first half.
So about 1 minute remaining here in the second quarter. The Aggies trying to produce one more score before we reach halftime. Hyde back to throw. Looking deep, lets it go. And what concentration to haul in the reception.
What a pass and throw. Great tackle there by the Knights as well. Could have been Stevens. The clock is
And it looked like
rolling. It's
Scott
over Aggies.
on the catch for OAE, a gain of 24. A strong throw and even stronger catch as Scott was able to catch that one in traffic. Big hit delivered by the Leroy defender, but it didn't matter as Scott showed strength on the reception. Hyde into the end zone. It's tipped and incomplete.
Pass is incomplete, tapped around by a couple of Knights.
So 2nd and 10 coming up for OAE now.
Was out there.
As Calco Kiedis around the ball for Leroy. 26 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. And the Aggies are approaching the red zone.
Seconds left here in the first half. Aggies still got a timeout.
So as the boisterous Pete Bueller just reminded us, the Aggies with one timeout remaining here in this first half, so that could come into play. Stiff arm from Hyde, still on his feet, first down and more. Inside the 10, and he remains down after that run, perhaps just exhausted from the effort he's put forth here tonight on both ends of the field. Hands on his hips as he walks back to the huddle. Hyde has shown great grit here tonight, and he was able to get out of bounds there as it's 1st and goal from the 6-yard line.
7-yard line.
So 1st and goal from the 6, 17 seconds remaining in this first half. Clock is stopped. The Aggies with one timeout remaining. Leroy can stop the clock twice. Snap, Hyde fakes the handoff, looking to throw, sets his feet, back in the end zone for the touchdown. Hyde to Scott for the second time tonight. And it's now an 18-0 OAE lead. Excuse me, Scott had the big run early in the first half. Hard to differentiate that play from a pass. It was such a sizable gain, but that's Scott's second touchdown of the evening. One receiving, one rushing. What an effort here from Connor Scott. 2-point try from OAE, and that stops short of the end zone.
2-point conversion is no good.
As they've been
But ladies and gentlemen, we just had
unable to push it across on the point after attempts, but
Connor
Hyde to Scott puts OAE ahead by 3 possessions before we reach the close
So with 12 seconds left,
of the
12
first
seconds left in the
half.
It's 18-0 Aggies.
So Scott, the senior, has really come to play tonight. Busted out that 54-yard rushing score to open the scoring. And now a receiving touchdown to boot as he was wide open in the back of the end zone. This Leroy secondary has lost track of the Aggies pass catchers all night long. I'm not sure whether it's defensive breakdowns or heady play calling, but there have been receivers running free for OAE since the opening snap. And if it weren't for 2 drop deep balls, it could be an even more lopsided score here than 18-0. So Bodie Hyde showing off the arm here tonight. 2 passing touchdowns, a deep one to Courier. That one inside the red zone to Scott. Hyde has also carried the ball a number of times tonight and come up with a few big plays on defense. He's certainly been one of the most valuable players for the Aggies here tonight. So 12 seconds remaining in this first half. The Aggies kick it away And Leroy will call for the fair catch,
Leroy,
so we'll
fair
reset our
catch.
clock as I started it
Mark Lay there to preserve
prematurely.
some time on the night.
So 12
Andrew
seconds
Robinson
remaining
with a kickoff. It's gonna be first down
in this
and
first
10
half,
for the
and
night.
we'll see if Leroy tries a desperation heave or if they'll just kneel it into the
ball will
halftime
be
break.
marked at the Knights' own 40-yard line. 12 seconds left to play here in the first half. Once again, Knights do still have 2 timeouts.
So Leroy will begin its drive from its own 32-yard line, facing a 1st and 10. Handoff goes to Piazza. He simply
Piazza
covers
gets the
it
ball
up,
from Stevens.
falls down,
2
and
yards on the play.
we'll head into halftime with the score 18-0, OAE in the lead.
And there's the horn,
We'll be back
ladies
after a
and
short
gentlemen.
break here on the
So
Batavia Daily
that
News YouTube channel.
18-0. Your Oakfield, Alabama, Elba Aggies over the Leroy Knights here at welcome back.
All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to Oakfield, Alabama High School. Alex Brasky with you on the Batavia Daily News YouTube channel. It's an 18-0 OAE lead over the visiting Leroy Knights, and the Aggies will kick it off to the Knights to begin this third quarter of play. As you see on the Casella Way scoreboard, it's that 18-0 advantage for OAE.
Good return there.
And to be quite honest, it could be an even more sizable deficit. There were two dropped deep passes for OAE during that first half of play, and the Leroy defense came up with a couple of stops, but really if those passes were completed, it could be an unreachable deficit for Leroy to begin this half. But nonetheless, 18 points, still within striking distance for the Cardiac Knights. As Batavia Daily News Sports reporter Nate Ryder has dubbed them this season.
5-yard gain there for the
Leroy,
second down and 5.
with its first win over Bath Haverling, also coming in comeback fashion. So the Knights have had no shortage of drama this season, and to be quite honest with you, they're hoping for more here tonight as they look to come back from a 3-touchdown deficit. And a 2nd and 5 with Stevens out of the shotgun. Fakes the handoff to Piazza. Stevens tripped forward for a gain of about 1, 3rd and 4 coming up.
Gain of 1 on the play. Great interior defense by the Aggies. Numbers are tough to read from up here, but phenomenal interior defense by your
So these are two unbeaten teams. Leroy at 2-0, OAE at 3-0, both hoping to stay unbeaten within their respective classifications as they yearn for that top seed entering the postseason,
Aggie,
which is attainable for both teams this year. Both teams were expected to have solid campaigns, and they've started red hot. So
on their own 41-yard line.
But a little bit of work to do here for Leroy tonight, as it looks like they're setting the punting unit on a 4th and 2, down 18. 10 minutes to go in the third. I would expect a fake here.
Walker back to kick for the Knights.
And they don't fake it. Or they do! The throw to Tonzi, and he's got nowhere to run. I'm not sure about that call on the 4th and 2. Why not just run it forward? But then again, we saw that stifled by OAE on the previous 4th down attempt near the Aggies' goal line. So perhaps Leroy just trying a little bit of finesse there, but if you ask me, they got a little too cute, and now the Aggies poised to perhaps punch it in once again. Hyde out of the shotgun, takes the snap, running behind blockers. Caravan in front of him. And a good gain of about 8 or 9 yards. Braden Smith in there on the stop for OAE. Also Connor Hedgeman. Excuse me, I'm reading off both rosters here.
Ball on the Aggies' 30-yard line.
So 9:15 remaining here in the third. 2nd down for the Aggies. And not much there, but could be enough for the 1st down. Aggies think they got it.
It's going to be very close. Officials stopping the clock here.
Officials look at it, and they're going to bring the chains out. So this chain crew certainly getting a lot of action here this evening. So we have our 2nd measurement
Could be a 3rd and 1 or a first down
of the
for
game.
Aggies. We'll see.
Get a quick zoom in on the chain crew here at Oakfield, Alabama. Look at these guys. A good-looking chain crew.
First down, Aggies!
Good-looking chain crew, and let's not forget the man on the box.
The Mafia Lights.
So first down for OAE,
First down and
as
10
you may have
now
heard
for
in the
Aggies.
background.
Ball on the night, 29-yard line.
1st and 10 coming up for the
9 minutes
Aggies.
left here in the 3rd quarter.
Time ticking inside
Aggies knocking on the
8:40
door.
to go here in the 3rd. This is where the Aggies' ball control style will really come into play as they hand it off to Courier on the reverse. The empty backfield, but no shortage of creativity in this offense, and you saw it there with the little jet sweep. And 2nd and 5 coming up.
Yard by yard, too hard. Brings up 2nd down and 5 for your Aggies. Ball on the night, 24-yard line.
So the Aggies train continues to roll as they lead it by 18, and they're looking for more on this possession. Handoff, Courier. Spinning forward, that's going to be a first down. And McGavro's Automotive first down. That's McGavro's Automotive on Hutchins Street in Batavia, formerly operated as Zerbel's Automotive. Contact McGavro's for all your automotive repair service needs.
16-yard line.
So another first down for OAE as they are now inside the red zone. Hyde takes it on the quarterback. Power diving into the end zone for the touchdown. Bodie Hyde is showing off here tonight. He's done it all for this OAE football team. 24-0. The Aggies lead it. 7:12 to go here in the 3rd quarter. And that could be the nail in the Knights' coffin.
Aggies are kicking.
Here's the kick, and for the first time tonight, the PAT is good, and it's 25-0.
Avery Watterson point after attempt is good.
Avery Watterson puts it up and through for the Aggies.
12 left in the 3rd quarter. It's a 25-0 Aggies lead.
So following the latest touchdown, it's now a 25-0 lead, 7:12 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Once again, this game brought to you by Casella Waste, Bubba's Landscape, GCC, UR Medicine Noise Health Urgent Care Center in Geneseo, Sweet Betty's Restaurant and Ice Cream Shop, That Taco Place in Batavia, and of course our first down sponsor, McGavro's Automotive. Aggies set to kick it away.
Set back to kick.
And sorry about that. I'm not sure how that got up there. Get that off and show you the kick return as tough hit out of bounds. As Xavier Walker takes it forward for the Knights as they look to begin their latest drive.
Your Aggies defense. Knights taking over. Ball on their own 39-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Knights.
So the Knights need a quick strike here as they trail it by 25 midway through the third. Shotgun snap to Stevens. High throw to Fix, and thank goodness it was high as Connor Scott read that well, was cutting into the passing lane for a potential interception, but the pass out of his reach. So 2nd and 10 as looked like the Knights avoided the pick six there.
Ball still on their 39-yard line.
So 2nd and 10 coming up for Leroy. Stevens takes the snap, takes it himself, looking to run. Blockers in front of him, and there goes Adrian Stevens. That's a McGavro's Automotive first down. There's a flag on the play near the Aggies' 45-yard line, and it appears as if it's going to be a hold against the Knights. So adding insult to injury, a huge gain from Stevens is being brought back on the holding call. And that call came in the open field. So 2nd and 9 as that call, like I said, came down the field. And that's where they mark it from. So a 2nd and 9 coming up here after what appeared to be a phantom holding call. So 2nd and 9 coming up. Clock will restart here as Stevens is in the shotgun. 2 to the right, 2 to the left, 1 in the backfield. Stevens flips it to his man in the backfield. Piazza swarmed initially, able to wiggle through past the line of scrimmage, but eventually wrapped up by Braden Smith.
In the middle of it.
And it's a gain of 3, so 3rd and 6 or 7. Also, we want to mention Austin Pengrazio tonight. He's been all over the field. He recovered that fumble in the first half. He's a multi-sport player, athlete for Oakfield, Alabama Elba. Also plays basketball. Hard worker in the offseason. Has led to some great production here on the field as Pengrazio really propelled the Aggies defense in the early going and has come up with some big plays here tonight, including combining to make that stop. So 3rd and 7, Stevens looking to throw, tipped, and it falls incomplete. So that'll bring up 4th down for Leroy now, and they'll once again send the punting unit onto the field.
Here for the Knights, ball on their own 42-yard line. Noah Courier trotting back for the Aggies.
So with that pass falling incomplete, our clock came to a stop with 5:44 remaining here in the third. Walker has had some trouble getting it away tonight, but has managed to do so, fortunately for Leroy, and that one trickles inside the 35-yard line, and that's where the Knights will touch it down with 5:43 remaining. So 1 second ran off the clock during that punt. 1st and 10 coming up for OAE.
33-yard line. Aggies taking over. Aggies ball.
So shotgun formation for OAE, but they'll hand it off. It's Courier coming straight in to the open field, and that's a first down, a McGavro's Automotive first down.
Gain of 11.
Gain of 11 on the play for Noah Courier.
Another first down for the Aggies. First down and 10. Ball on their own 44-yard line. Under 5:30 left here in the third quarter.
Courier flares out in motion, and there's Hyde cutting up the middle, pushing his own man out of his way, but a flag behind the play.
Hyde takes down one of his own men, and they're going to flag on the play. A lot going on that one. We'll let the officials break it down.
And it's going to go against the Aggies.
Holding Aggies.
Another holding call.
A lot of penalties here early in the third quarter.
And that will set OAE back here.
Looks like another 10-yard penalty. But it's still first down.
So 1st and 20.
Still first down here for the
coming
Aggies.
up for OAE.
First down and 21 now. Ball on their own 33-yard line.
We'll reset our clock to match the one here at Oakfield, Alabama. 4:40 to go here in this third quarter. Hyde following blockers, still on his feet. Eventually pushed out of bounds, and he flexes towards one of his coaches. Boy, the strength exhibited by this young man here tonight. A 21-yard gain, and that's a first down. A McGavro's Automotive first down for OAE.
Oil those chains and keep them moving. First down and 10 for Aggies. Ball now on the 45-yard line.
Snap. Handoff to the up back.
Inside
Gain of
one
about
for the Aggies.
6. 2nd and 4 coming up.
Gain of about 6. Keegan Park on the tackle there for the Knights. Interior defense brings up a second down and 6. Ball on the Knight 41-yard line.
So a 2nd and 5, we'll call it. Courier takes the handoff, reversing field. Now he's got Hyde in front of him. Noah Courier, there he goes, down the sideline, knifing in between defenders, fighting for the goal line. What a run for Noah Courier. And he's down near the goal line. The Aggies nearing another touchdown. 1st and goal from the 1-yard line coming up.
First down, Aggies! Ball on the 1-yard line and time to roll it.
My, oh my.
What a run by the senior.
What a performance
40 yards
from
in.
Courier in this Aggies offense as a whole. So one man split out to the right, but the Aggies will pack it in, and Hyde will keep it himself for the touchdown.
Touchdown, Aggies!
31-0 OAE in the lead with 3:04 remaining here in the third.
Great offensive
The route is on.
Aggies, led by senior captain TJ Andrews. Avery Watterson lining up for the point after.
So here's the Aggies to try another point after, and it's off the crossbar.
No good.
So that has been the one blemish from OAE here this evening, and
But ladies and gentlemen,
if you're Coach Winter
3 minutes left, 3:04 left in the
and
third
this
quarter.
staff,
And
special
the
teams coach
31-0
Andy Boyce,
Aggies
you really would like to get things under control in terms of the point after, as you see Coach Boyce there. Takes great pride in his special teams, and OAE had no problem converting point afters last season, but that has been a point of struggle here tonight. And when you get down to the nitty-gritty late in the season against quality teams, points matter. And you need to refine little things like that. If you're the Aggies, when you blow teams out week in and week out, you got to look for small things to correct. And their performance on special teams, particularly the point after attempts and the 2-point tries, has really been poor here tonight.
Avery Watterson teeing it up. Aggie special teams unit ready to pounce.
So 31-0, OAE rolling over Class C Leroy, as the Class D Aggies looking to make their presence known within Section 5 and beyond with this win here tonight, as if it wasn't already. So here's the kick, right down the middle, line drive, and here comes Drew Strollo on the run. Strollo tackled from behind, good pursuit there
A good return for the night.
from the Aggies special teams. Done a pretty good job in kick coverage here tonight.
So it'll be a first down and 10
As
for
you
the
see
night.
Nate Finta
Taking over
make the
here
tackle
late
there.
in the third quarter, under 3 minutes.
Coach Boyce, also the
Looks like it'll be spotted on the Knights' 45
one of the Elba
yard
baseball coaches. I believe he's the head coach now. Was a co-coach for some time, but provides the energy, does Coach Boyce, that's for sure. As often the special teams coordinator is asked to do, you know, those guys got to be a little bit crazy. Handoff to Piazza, and he's wrestled down.
Tony Piazza on the carry, gain of a few.
And guess who's in there? Big Austin
Bodie High on the
Pangrazio.
tackle for the Aggies.
What a night for him. 2nd and 8 coming up
Brings up 2nd down and 8
for the Knights
for
here.
the Knights.
So the
Ball on
Aggies,
the
after they
47-yard line.
likely secure this victory over the next 14 and a half minutes, will take on York Pavilion next week. York Pavilion entered this week at 2-1, following a huge win over Kelmum Byron Burgeon last week. It was the first win for York Pavilion over the Raiders in, I believe, about 30 years.
Stevens pass to number 34, Drew Strollo. Is complete.
So Strollo takes that pass and
infield
takes
there.
it
Ball
forward
on
for a
the
gain of
50.
about
Brings
1,
up a 3rd and 5. Under
as I
2
had
minutes
it
left here in the third
incorrectly
quarter.
marked as a 2nd and 8. 3rd and
5
5
for the
now.
Knights at midfield.
Coming up for Leroy as they look to get off the schneid here on offense and find themselves on the scoreboard. Stevens out of the shotgun, hands it off to Piazza on the reverse, but the Aggies are all over it.
Tony Piazza.
Nice tackle there, and
followed
looked
up
like
there.
big 55, Angelo Penna in on the tackle.
And Angelo Penna there, main man on the tackle.
Also
No
Gage
gain on the
Chamberlain,
play.
hearing
Brings
his
up a
name for
4th
the
and
first
5
time
for the
tonight and
Knights
on the
right
stop.
at midfield.
So 4th and 5 after the no gain on the play for the Knights, and this is do or die time for Leroy. Inside a minute to go in the 3rd quarter, facing a 31-point deficit, and Stevens looking to throw. Going deep, but it's too long for his
Stevens pass
intended
to
target, Cal
Kokidis.
Kokidis,
Incomplete.
and that's a turnover on downs.
And it's gonna
1st and 10
be
coming up for the Aggies with
ball
43
on
seconds
the
remaining
field
here in the
line.
3rd.
First down and 10, Aggies.
All right, 43 seconds remaining.
First down and 10.
Here in the third as the Aggies take over. And the reverse handoff. Tripping over his own feet, but regaining his balance is Scott.
Stumbles a little
And
bit.
he runs it out of bounds.
Regains his balance.
So 2nd and
Gets
6
about 4 yards there.
now coming up.
Brings up a 2nd down and long 7 there for the Aggies. This might be the last play here in the third quarter.
All right, we'll call it 2nd and 7 coming up as the clock did come to a stop. I had to step away for a moment. Ball is out, but Hyde regains it.
Fumble on the snap
As we're
there.
now at the
Quarterback
30-second mark of this
So remain
third quarter.
And
3rd and
looks
7
like
coming up.
We're gonna let the clock roll here at the end of the third quarter. And that's the horn.
And that's going to do it for the third quarter of play. We head to the fourth. The Aggies rolling with a 31-0 lead.
31-0. Your Aggies. The Aggies will have 3rd down and 8 after this quarter break here. 3rd down and 8 on their own.
Once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, beginning with Casella Waste, also Bubba's Landscape and Leroy. Genesee Community College, UR Medicine Noise Health Urgent Care Center in Geneseo, Sweet Betty's Restaurant and Ice Cream Shop, That Taco Place in Batavia, and our first down sponsor for tonight, Magavro's Automotive in Batavia, located on Hutchins Street, formerly Zerbel's Automotive. Contact Magavro's today for all your automotive repair needs. Been a well-officiated game here this evening by these gentlemen in front of you on the screen. Referee Marty Wester, umpire Bill Van Auken, linesman Graydon Van Ray, line judge Dave McLaughlin, and back judge Tom Brown. So a fantastic job from these officials here tonight. They've managed the game well. The pace has been fantastic. And now both teams hope to get out of here without any further injury, as the score is so lopsided entering the fourth quarter. You really start to look forward to next week if you're these two teams. And if you're Leroy, a little bit of solace you can take out of this matchup is you're not going to have to play OAE again. They are not in your classification for sectionals. They are a class below you. So Leroy's still very much in the running for a Class C championship this year. By no means is this signal the end of their season, and why would it, as they entered at 2-0. But sometimes you see a performance like this and you can get a bit concerned if you're a fan. But just know that the Aggies will not be waiting for the Knights down the road. And really, there isn't a team of the Aggies' caliber at the Class C level in Section 5 this year. They are that good. And Hyde lowers his shoulder, an explosive broken tackle there as he pushes forward for extra yardage in the first down, but a holding call pushes them back. So Hyde tonight has run over a Leroy player, his own player, or his own teammate, I should say, and now we're just waiting for him to run over coaches on each side, I guess, and the officials, and then make his way into the stands and stiff arm a youngster maybe. Hyde has really looked like a man amongst boys out there tonight. He is mighty impressive, the OAE junior quarterback. So we are nearing inside 11 minutes to go as the 4th and 11, as I forgot to change the down and distance, but no problem for OAE. On 4th and long, OAE goes deep. And that's a touchdown to Kyle Porter, who dropped a pass earlier in the game. So redemption for Porter. And the Aggies find themselves on the scoreboard once again. So Hyde to Porter, 51 yards for the latest touchdown, 37-0. Watterson on for the point after, up and through. For the second time today, it's now 38-0. And if it wasn't time already, it's got to be time for OAE to start considering to call off the dogs here, maybe make a move at quarterback, allow some other players to carry the football, throw the football. And I know they don't have a sizable roster, certainly, and you don't want to get anybody hurt by putting them in an unfavorable position, but at the same time, 38-0 with 10:46 remaining here in the fourth quarter. You have to start to think about sportsmanship and respecting the other team, and not to say there's been any poor sportsmanship here tonight, but certainly has to be a consideration for the OAE coaching staff here if they are to get the ball back. And it certainly appears as if they will with so much time remaining, leading 38-0. So we'd like to thank our sponsors, beginning with Casella Waste, also Bubba's Landscape, also Genesee Community College, UR Medicine Noise Health Urgent Care Center in Geneseo, Sweet Betty's Restaurant and Ice Cream Shop, and That Taco Place in Batavia.
Drew Strollo. Aggie special teams.
So once again, Alex Brasky here with you on the Batavia Daily News YouTube channel. It's been a blowout. OAE is really taking it to the Knights here tonight on both sides of the ball. And the Aggies are closing in on 4-0.
Jake Walzak coming in on our side of the field, along with Sean Alexander, number 10.
So here's the kick. And
Leroy
falling on it is Leroy.
Smart move. Simon Fisher with a short kick.
So 10:45 remaining in the ball game. Leroy will look to generate some late offense here, perhaps against some OAE second stringers.
Ready to go on that one. He's number 81 and a junior. Keep him coming, please.
Handoff. Ball is out.
Ball loose, ball
Who's
loose.
got it? The Aggies do.
And Aggies football! The ball was up in the air, and the Aggies said, I'll take it.
So now 10:39 remaining in the fourth.
So
The Aggies will take over once again, and Hyde remains in at quarterback.
32-yard line. Under 11 minutes left in the game. And the Aggies are on the hunt again.
So 10:39 remaining in the game. Another 1st and 10 for the Aggies. Pitch play. And there is Courier on the carry. Pushed out of bounds at about the 10-yard line. So Courier still getting carries here late in this ball game.
21-yard gain by Noah. 1st and goal for your Aggies. Ball on the 9-yard line. Great push by 55 Angelo
So
Pena.
1st and goal from the 9. Aggies nearing the end zone once again. Handoff to Connor Scott running wide.
Scott looking for
Sorry about the camera work there, but he's wrapped down at about the 2-yard line. Flags will fly. We'll see what the call is here on the defensive secondary.
Today's the second day of fall here. There weren't leaves falling, just a lot of yellow.
And a personal foul
Looks like a personal foul on the Aggies.
against OAE.
So the Aggies will be pushed back.
So that will set them back quite a bit. And you hate to see that in a lopsided game, a personal foul penalty.
Connor Scott was going
Once
toward
again,
the
I
sideline.
mentioned, and you need to maintain a level of sportsmanship
That's when
here
the
when
penalty occurred.
the score gets
It's
out of
going to
hand,
be
especially at the high
second
school
down and
level.
goal for the Aggies. Ball on the 19-yard line, under 10 to go.
So approaching the 10-minute mark now. Hyde under center. Man in motion. Hands it off. Up the middle goes Courier. And a good
Courier
gain
goes
for
just
about 10
right
yards.
down the middle. Gains about half the yards back.
Second and goal coming up.
Brings up second and goal. I apologize. Second and goal. Ball right at the 11-yard line of the Knights.
So 9:19 remaining here. Shotgun snap. Handoff to Courier. Flag comes in the area of holding.
Courier takes to the sideline, but more flags on the field. Holding on the Aggies again. We got like a accordion, back and forth, back and forth. Here we go. So the Aggies being pushed back 4 yards again. Ball's now spotted.
So second and
at
goal.
the Knights 21-yard
Still
line.
for
It'll be
OAE.
Second down and goal from the 21-yard line. And here we go.
Time inside 9 minutes remaining now. So I'll reset our clock. Hyde on the run. Following blockers. Being pushed out of bounds.
Hyde fakes. They get pushed out of bounds by number 5, Jason Fix. And number 44.
And 8:32 remaining as the
Walker.
clock comes to a stop.
Not much
third
there
down
on
and
that
goal.
one. Maybe 2 yards.
And whereas you may see
It'll be third
running
down and
clock
goal for the
in
Aggies.
certain
Ball now on the 19-yard
high school
line.
football blowouts,
red
no
zone.
chance you'll see that here tonight with a proud program such as Leroy. As I said before, you have not heard the last of this Knights bunch. They will be in contention for a Class C championship this year, mark my words. Hyde with the empty backfield up 38-0, looking to throw, going to the end zone. Jump ball, and it's knocked away on third down.
Pass is incomplete. And the end of in the back of the end zone, going to bring up fourth down and goal. Jason Fix on the defense there, a little tip action there. Fourth and goal for the Aggies here.
So fourth and goal for OAE now, and they will now send the kicking unit on.
Aggies lined up the kick. Avery Watterson held by Sean Alexander.
Avery Watterson, and it's blocked. Jackson Fix in there, blocks the field goal. And it's now picked up, and Jack Tonzi is on the run, and he fumbles the football forward. Ball rolling around like a wet bar of soap.
Field goal attempt
And the
is
Aggies
blocked
recover.
by the Knights.
So OAE will maintain possession here after a crazy fourth down play. Ball at the Leroy 39-yard line.
On their own, about 38-yard line here. My bad. Aggies recovered it. Be first down and 10, Aggies! Thank you, my fans. It takes the village up here. It'll be a timeout, Aggies.
And now a timeout on the field, called by OAE. And we'll take a quick break here on the Batavia Daily News YouTube channel.
The comedic value. This is better than going to helium.
Yeah, I hate helium. I had fun. No, something.
Last time I was there, I got picked.
No. Let me give you Benny Mark.
We were out early.
Yeah, exactly.
Cops were calling. Not fun.
Crazy possession here, ladies and gentlemen, and it continues. The Aggies are still on offense after that blocked field goal.
So 8:32 remaining, and the Aggies, oh, excuse me on the camera work there. As our Zoom
Aggies run there on the
apparatus got stuck. The Aggies have brought in the second string with 7:30 to go. Braden Smith now in the game at quarterback, and perhaps a bit later than I would have imagined, but nonetheless, the Aggies putting in the backups with a lot of time still remaining here in the fourth. Smith takes the snap, trying to stay on his feet. And that's a scary play, and that is something to be concerned with if you're OAE. You want to show sportsmanship to the other team, but you also don't want to play players out of position as you are with Smith here on such a limited roster. Smith, typically an offensive lineman, now playing quarterback, and the last thing you would want to see is to see Smith go down with an injury in a game like this playing quarterback. So there are more concerns to be had than simply the score on the board when it comes to sportsmanship.
Senior Aiden Warner, it looks like on the carry, gets a few yards, brings up a fourth down and 1 or 2 now for the Aggies.
Excuse me, on the down and distance, falling behind a bit. 4th and 2 with 6.5 minutes to play. Smith under center, hands it off on the reverse. That's Sean Alexander getting a carry for the Aggies, and that's what you like to see in a game like this. When it gets out of hand, give those guys some carries, guys that don't typically touch the ball, and no harm, no foul if you don't convert. You're ahead 38-0. So 1st and 10 coming up for Leroy with 5:43 remaining in the ball game here on the Batavia Daily News YouTube channel.
Gage Chamberlain coming in and out. Avery Watson jumping in. Jake Wolzak. Junior. Nate Shieldwalster leading the defense, looks like, playing the call right there. Leading the clap. Very important.
Flip to Jackson Fix. He's on the run, a good gain of about 6 yards.
Good first down run. Kyler Harkness there helping out of the tackle. Second down and 5 now for the Knights. Ball on their own 35-yard line.
So 5:15 remaining now. 2nd and 5 coming up for Leroy. Snap. Stevens looking to throw wide of his intended target, Walker, and it falls incomplete.
Stevens' pass is incomplete. Looking for number 4, Walker, on our side of the field. Brings up a 3rd down and 5 for the Knights. 5:01 left. Ball on their own 35-yard line.
So 3rd and 5 now for Leroy with 5:01 on the clock. Been a slow go here in the 4th quarter. Pace has really died down. That one rushed right up the middle by Fix. A nice run for a McGavro's Automotive first down.
For the Aggies. Knights first down, ball on their own 46-yard line.
So we already told you about who Oakfield, Alabama Elba has coming up next week.
Fix again on the carry.
As you see Fix there. Really doing some good work in the running game now.
Michael Woodward there on the tackle.
As Leroy will take on Bishop Timon next week. Not an easy matchup there out of Section 6, a private school. Typically equipped with plenty of athletes as Timon, so another daunting matchup in front of the Knights next week. No rest for the weary, as they say. Hand off to Fix. And holding on for dear life to make the tackle is number 71, Nate Finta. He's made a couple of tackles tonight.
Holding on to those shoes. Be first down and 10 for the Knights. Across the midfield. Ball on the Aggie 43-yard line.
3.5 minutes to play. Another McGavro's Automotive. First down for Leroy as they look to avoid the shutout here on this, what could be the final drive. Fix stood up after a short gain. Kyler Harkness in there for the stop.
Kyler Harkness, it looks like, on that huge tackle. Kenny Klein coming in. Tough to catch the numbers here.
So 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7
coming up for Leroy now. Inside 3 minutes to go. Stevens hands it off to Fix. Breaking free into the secondary. Jackson Fix, what a run. Another McGavro's Automotive first down. Kyle Porter in there on the stop for OAE.
First down and 10 for the Knights. Ball on the Aggie 20-yard line. Under 3 minutes left.
We'll sync up our clock here at 2:40 to play. So the Knights nearing the end zone. It hasn't been the first time they've neared the end zone, but they have yet to finish a drive with a touchdown. Let's see if they can here. Stevens under center. Hands it off to Jackson Fix. Through the open field.
Fix again, carries it strong.
And diving for the goal line, but he comes up just short. So another McGavro's Automotive first down and a 1st and goal coming up for Leroy here. So Jackson Fix, what a job he's done helping his team work the ball all the way down the field. And we'll see if the Knights can finish it off. We'll see if they give it to Fix to reward his hard work on this drive. They do. And he does get rewarded. Touchdown, Leroy. Jackson Fix in for the score. It's now 38-6.
3-yard run right up the middle for the Knights.
So a bit of a blowout here, but nice for Leroy to avoid the shutout. As I spoke about before, the pride in this program runs deep, and
Field goal point after
having
for
a
two.
shutout on the schedule, never a sense of pride for any high
Knights look like they're
school
going for two.
offense. So the Knights will go for two here, looking to maximize their opportunity. Fix, fighting for the goal line.
Taking it, no
Can't find it this time, and it will remain a 38-6 ball game with 2:01 remaining here in the fourth. And we'll likely see the Aggies kneel out the final 2 minutes of play. So before we get on out of here, we'd once again like to thank our sponsors, beginning with Casella Waste. Also, Bubba's Landscape in Leroy. Genesee Community College. UR Medicine Noise Health Urgent Care Center in Geneseo. Sweet Betty's Restaurant and Ice Cream Shop. That Taco Place in Batavia. And of course our first down sponsor for tonight, Magavro's Automotive. It's been an enjoyable evening here atop the grandstand at Oakfield, Alabama High School. The Aggies really taking it to the visiting Knights on their way to 4-0.
Driving home, getting out of this parking lot. We got a lot of cars here, a lot of people walking. So please be careful. Don't run me over. Thank you. All right, get that special teams back out here.
Well said. Well said. Nice sleep over here.
So one last chance for Leroy to try something creative. We'll see if they try an outside kick or something, but I doubt it. Probably just want to get on out of here with the score the way it is. Hopefully the Aggies feel the same way and are set to kneel out the final 2 minutes. Holly kicks it. Alexander on the return. Chased down and tripped up. Nice pursuit from the opposite side of the field by Connor Hedgeman.
Taken down by number 21, Connor Hedgeman from the Knights. So it's going to be first down, Aggies.
So first down for Oakfield, Alabama, Elba. There's been no quit in this Aggies team, no quit in PA announcer Pete Bueller tonight.
Still spotting the ball here.
Keeping this crowd engaged throughout the evening, perhaps keeping you engaged as well.
Ball on their own 33-yard line. First down and 10, Aggies. Under 2 minutes left.
So here we go, 1:54 remaining. Ball being tossed off the field to the Leroy sideline, which is what's causing the brief delay here. Smith onto the field to take the snap from under center, and they won't knee it. They will run it out here. And here's Alexander.
Sean Alexander jumping and leaping.
And that's going to be a Magavro's Automotive first down.
Tony Piazza and Sean Kreitza. And it's going to be a first down, Aggies. Gain of 12 for the junior. Hard run there for the junior, jumping and dodging and wailing. That's a song. All right, first down and 10 for your Aggies.
Smith hands it off to the up back. Into the Knights secondary. And that's Aiden Warner for a first down.
Aiden Warner looks like we have another first down. Close to first down for the Aggies. We'll see the spot. Yeah, it is. Aggie, first down. Senior Aiden Warner running
Now inside a minute to play here.
Travis Thomas of the Knights.
Seeing a few new faces getting carries for the Aggies.
We have under 1 minute left. 1 or 2 more plays left this homecoming weekend.
All across midfield. Smith takes the snap, hands it to Alexander, cuts it upfield. Shifting around defenders, but eventually brought down after another first down gain.
55 of the Knights, Liam Luke. Another 11-yard gain for.
And that will do it As OAE will not run another play, and the Aggies are marching to 4-0. It's a 38-6 victory for head coach Tyler Winter and his group, as they are well on their way to another deep postseason run. Thank you for joining us here on the Batavia Daily News YouTube channel. My name is Alex Brasky. We'll see you.
And